The retired President Uhuru Kenyatta came out to deny that he sponsors Edwin Sifuna and a brigade. Propagandists in government are trying to show that Edwin Sifuna and company are being sponsored by Uhuru Kenyatta. In other words, they tie the achievements of the Linda Wananchi to Uhuru Kenyatta. That's what the propagandists want the nation to believe, because they know, as after Rigathi Gachagua taking away one of the biggest voting baskets from RUTO, the people who are also game changing when it comes to politics are the Linda Wananchi, because they are eating through what RUTO banked on. And after Uhuru Kenyatta hearing this, he came out to say these statements. I want to listen very carefully because they're going to form a base of a discussion. Here's the tape.
Mimi sitaki kuitwa sponsor bana. Mimi sitaki mambo mingi. Mimi nimesema ya kwamba chaguo ni la nani? Chaguo ni la nani? Na hakuna haja ya kulazimisha Mkenya yeyote kwenda upande huu au upande huu. Wakenya watajichagulia wenyewe. Na mimi naomba viongozi wa kisiasa tuende kwa wananchi kwa amani, tuhubiri yale ambaye tuko naye kwa amani. Hii mambo ya kuzuia wengine kufanya mikutano, ya kufanya nini ni kurudisha Kenya nyuma, na tunataka kusonga mbele. Kama unataka kura, omba kwa unyenyekevu. Wananchi watakupatia ama wakunyime. Hata mimi niliomba na nikanyimwa, nikarudi tena nikaomba nikapewa. Ama ni namna gani? Na watu wasiseme ya kwamba yale ambaye nasema mimi naingilia siasa. Mimi sina haja na kiti yeyote. Tunaelewana? Mimi nashukuru Mungu kwa ile miaka amenipea kuwa kwa uongozi, na nawashukuru wa Kenya kwa kunipatia hiyo nafasi. Hii nafasi sasa ni ya wengine, na Wakenya wenyewe ndio wataamua ni nani. Lakini wajue ya kwamba, unajua kila mtu anaweza kusema anataka, lakini Mungu anaamua ni mtu mmoja peke yake. Wakitaka mema, wajaribu kutafuta njia ya kuungana, watembee pamoja na waheshimiane. Si ni kweli? Tumekubaliana. Kwa hivyo, kwa sababu ya hali ya anga, na bado kuna wengine labda mnataka kusikia sauti yao, mimi nasema Kitale, Mungu awabariki. Mungu aendelee kulinda marehemu hayati kijana wa Malwa, aendelee kulinda familia yake, na aendelee kushikilia taifa la Kenya. Na nyinyi wa Kenya, musikubali kugombanishwa. Musikubali kugombanishwa. Muungane, mukae kama kitu kimo. Mungu awabariki na walinde. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
That is Uhuru Kenyatta. One may ask, ladies and gentlemen, why is Uhuru Kenyatta coming out to deny that he's not sponsoring them? Yet he's still the chairman of Azimio. He's played the politics very well, because when he even listed the people who are supposed to be voted for, he listed the name RUTO to show that he doesn't have any bad blood. But even if he was sponsoring them, it's not bad in democracy. For example, during the election when Joe Biden was running against Donald Trump, among the people who came out to campaign for Joe Biden was the retired President Barack Obama. In big democracies, former president can campaign for a person of their own party. It is the truth. Why is it that here in Kenya, when it comes out to maybe to say that he supports Matiang'i, is all of a sudden bad? Okay, that's what Uriamoto wants us to believe. Remember, Uriamoto won the 2022 generation. Of course, he was a victim. I personally supported him because he was a victim where the state was going against him. He may not have the same chance. Now people are, Uhuru Kenyatta is not in power. Uhuru Kenyatta is not the reason as to why Uriamoto has failed to deliver. Is the reason as why he is going home. And I've also starting to think, part of the brick that is helping the Azimio to stick together is Uhuru Kenyatta. Maybe he's a big man in the room, okay? And RUTO would want to dismantle it. He would want to promise freebies to these men. But Uhuru Kenyatta is also a bloke. But remember, if indeed William Ruto is right, why does he want Uhuru Kenyatta to stand with him and not the opposition? It is the truth. Okay? Because even Ruto came out to say that Uhuru Kenyatta would have been a leader by not supporting the opposition. It is, in fact, he said these statements.
My predecessor had an option, you know, to become a statesman and rise above politics and, you know, become a unifying, you know, factor as in a country. But he chose to climb down and become an opposition leader, because in your own statement, in your own headline, is the chairperson of Azimio up to now. Is the chairperson of party leader of, and he's busy with this. What you people wrote. He's busy organizing the opposition against me. Of course, I have tried to persuade him, you know, because I thought, as my former boss, you know, I tried to, you know, persuade him that maybe he could play a different role. In fact, I remember when I was thinking, you know, about how to take Kenya to the next level, you know, I went and sat down with the former Prime Minister. And I told him, you see, we are now the elders, we are the leaders of this nation. You know, why don't we work together, you know, grow a bigger vision for Kenya, that then, you know, we can hand over to the next generation of leaders. And the former Prime Minister was I must say, I must give him credit. He was up to it. In fact, he immediately told me, look, I am going to look for Professor Hino. But I agreed with the former Prime Minister that it is important that we look for the former president. And I went out of my way, I looked for him. I went and saw him first in Ichaweri. I also came and saw him in his office here. And then I talked to him to persuade him that, look, as a former head of state, the only one living now, please help us to, you know, forge, you know, a new, you know, vision for the country. But he was reluctant, you know, and he said he wasn't sure he wanted to do that. Well, those are choices people make. So, of course, he chose to do what he's doing, organizing the opposition and sponsoring them. And even in your own, you know, assessment, these people in the opposition, do they look that they have any idea of where they are going? In your estimation, can you explain how people who are supposed to be intelligent have no plan? They have no vision. They have no agenda. You know, if you ask this one, he says, oh, I want to abolish Shah. Do you have an alternative? They cannot tell you. Another one there is saying, we want to abolish housing. We want these houses to be broken down, or maybe, I don't know, done what. Do you have an alternative? What about the Constitution? The Constitution talks about housing. What about that?
Yep.
Another one here, you listen to another one. Is the only argument he has against housing is that chicken, I don't know, cannot climb the stairs. Now, let me ask you. Looking at those people, do they look like don't they look sponsored? Don't they look hired? Don't they look like stooges of somebody, and they are puppets. Because how do you explain people who are supposed to be reasonable, intelligent, lawyers, they've all of a sudden, they cannot even, the kind of reasoning. I had one of them when he was asked about, he said, my first is to come and abolish share. Why? Oh, the cost of dying has gone up. Really? I mean, this is...
You're not...
That is William Ruto. By William Ruto coming out to say that Uhuru Kenyatta would have not supported the opposition, he meant he would have stood with him in government, because he also wants the support. And after failing to get the Mountain Kenya vote, if maybe there was a relationship between him and Uhuru Kenyatta, maybe there would be a seeming grace working together. It is the truth. So for me, I think there is no harm for a former president to support any candidate. That is a big democracy. It is the reason as to why Kenya is the biggest democracy in East Africa. That is a reason. Because other African countries, East African countries, copy from Kenya. Kenya sets the trend when it comes to democracy. So Uhuru Kenyatta should not fear. Should not fear of organizing his Azimio. It is the truth. Because these desperate times needs William Ruto to go home. If William Ruto was a good candidate who brings people together, would feel sorry for the former retired president not to give him support. But a president who faced a Gen Z revolution barely 2 years in office, it shows how wicked Ruto is. It shows how Ruto is running bad the country. So for me, I think there is no harm when a former president, even a big Democrat, comes out to support any president. There is no harm, because even after him being a president, he has the right to support anyone. So for me, I think it is a battle of William Ruto wanting to dismantle Uhuru Kenyatta out of politics, which is not possible. It is the truth. Because he knows that the equation of taking him home has been calculated, and William Ruto won't have any escape route. Of course, as some Armenians truly, Mr. Mark and the Kabesula and Margaret. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I'm motivated to do more such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.